And, and going into my senior year, I actually I started football at 2:30, and we wrestled the first tournament, and I wrestled 2:15, and I got beat. Not just beat, I got choked out. I literally passed out by a guy named Nick Busick, who, if the name sounds familiar, his dad is actually a former professional wrestler, Big Bully Busick.
Okay, yeah.
And they're just, and Nick was just, Nick was the miniature version of his father, and he put me in a cradle so tight it cut off blood to my brain, and I literally just passed out.
Wow.
And I laid there, and I jumped up. I said, "Okay, let's go." My coach was like, "The match is over." Because you passed out. I was like, "Oh," and then I was like, "All right," and ended up taking third that tournament. And my coach, Coach Lesho, came to me. He goes, "Dude," he goes, "what are you doing?" I said, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "There is nobody at 171." He goes, "You should not be up here with these big guys." He goes, "Go." And I never cut weight. I never had to cut weight wherever I weighed at. I wrestled, just hard practicing, everything like that. I never really had to like watch my diet and cut weight. He goes, get down. There's nobody at 71. 71 is yours for the taking if you get down there. And I was like, oh, but I got to cut weight. And he goes, trust me. So I said, okay. So I cut out the pop. I cut out the salt. I kind of, did it the right way. When back then, everybody was wearing the garbage bags. I think actually the year before my senior year, I think it was like a Michigan wrestler or somebody from up north died because they were in a wrestling room that was super hot. They had the garbage bags on, the sauna suit on, and they ended up cooking their own liver.
Yeah.
So, weight cutting back then was, the wild, wild west. But, I ate right. I cut out the bad stuff and everything like that. And I ended up that tournament was in November, I think. By middle of December, I hit 71. So I went from 230, the start of football season, all the way to 171, doing it the right way and cutting weight the right way. And 171 was mine. I ran through a couple tournaments and stuff like that. My movement was quicker. I was a defensive wrestler. I hated shooting with a passion. And my coach would always go, "Why don't you shoot? You have a good shot in practice." I'm a defensive wrestler. I can wait for someone to come at me. I can look like I'm doing something, but I'm a defensive wrestler. Uh-huh. And I was just running through people. And we got to the OVACs, and I was seated, I believe, fourth in the OVACs. And our crosstown rival was Weir High. That was the school. So we were Weir Madonna. They were Weir High. And so I ended up meeting second round the crosstown rival, long, lengthy kid at 71. And the match was, it was a back and forth match. And we were tied going into the third, or like the last, no, we were tied going like the last 20 seconds. And he caught me in a half. And I was a very good bridger. I knew bridge on my head and everything like that. I could bridge and flip straight over. That's just how flexible I am. And it was like 1 second left. And right when I went to, no, I think it was, I can't remember. I'm getting old. Right when I went to bridge, on the top of my head, the ref called the pin with 1 second left. Huh. And I lost my mind. I cussed out the official. I cussed out the head table. I lost my mind because I was like, dude, there's no way he can pin me. There's no way. And I had a couple choice words for some other people. I lost my mind, and that was totally out of character of me. But one of my goals for that season was not to get pinned. And he was the only one who pinned me that season. And I was just losing it. And I went back on the mat, wrestled a kid from Lindsley High School in West Virginia. and I was an asshole. I was a total asshole, and I didn't mean to be. But he caught the brunt of just a lot of just built up aggression. And the coach from Lindsay, funny story. When I went to go shake his hand, he kind of pulled me in. He said, "Hey," he goes, "you know how you were your freshman year, and that's a freshman. And you remember when our senior had you and how much he treated you with respect." And at the time I was like, what the fuck ever. And now, and I look back on it a couple years afterwards, and I was like, that was wrong of me to do. That was really wrong of me to do. And funny story. So going back to my freshman year, wrestling the Lindsay guy, who I'm all of 5'7", kind of a chubby 89, and he's cut built 89, 6 feet, 8 inches.
Yeah.
Probably going to college to play football somewhere. He literally took the shot. Again, I'm a defensive wrestler. He took the shot, picked me up, sat me down on both shoulders, picked me right back up, stuck me on my feet. and my coach was like, at least he was nice about it. Like, he could have took you down and beat you up, but he tapped you. Boop, there you go. And I thought about that a couple years later, and I was like, that was really shit thing for me to do. And I'm very, very big on sportsmanship. And like I tell all my kids, it doesn't matter how you're feeling or what the last match was, take it out on them, but don't take it out on them to be an asshole. Take it out on them to, win the match.
Yep.
And, that was something that always stuck with me. That was just a teaching moment.
Yeah.
But I ended up letting my head get the best of me and not placing at OVACs that year and stuff. So going on our last actually going back to the beginning of that season, we actually so we wrestled Lindsley. That was our first dual meet.
Okay.
And my coach, Coach Lesho, had never won a dual meet in his career. I think he's been coaching since I want to say maybe mid 90s or something like that. He was an 80s graduate, late 80s graduate. He never won a dual meet.
Huh.
And that was one of my goals that year, was to win him his first dual meet. And so we're wrestling Lindsay Cadets. And I recruited my ass off. I got friends to come out. I was like, dude, you guys got to come out and wrestle. It's our senior year. You got to do something. And they're like, oh, okay, we'll come on and wrestle. And we put a team together. Me and my friend Paul, we got our friends on there. We had some freshmen and some of the lower classmen who were on the team and stuff like that. And we recruited our asses off. And, we got there, didn't know how we were going to do. We tied it up with Lindsay. It came down to the last match. And my friend Ian, he is not athletic at all. No athletic, doesn't have a build whatsoever. And he pinned the kid, and we lost our minds. And I remember going to coach, and I said, "That's for you. That's for you. That's your first ever win." And that it was awesome. And that was kind of what my goal my senior year wasn't so much about me winning. At the beginning of the year, my coach had told us, he said, how people are going to remember you, it's nice to have your name up on the wall, state titles, placing, stuff like that. He goes, but the way people are going to remember you is by what you do, what you show them. He goes, if someone shows you a move, you're going to pass that on to someone and go, hey, this guy named Carlin Yetts showed me this move. Let me show it to you. That's how your name lives on. People are going to always come into a room and see you, but your name's going to get passed on by what you give back to the sport.
Yeah, the impression that you make. Yeah.
And that's something that stuck with me. And my senior year, like I said, it wasn't about me winning state. It wasn't about me, doing things. It was just me making sure what we built kept going. And like I said, just a whole different mindset from my junior year to my senior year.
Yeah.
And stuff. But that was just one thing that we just kind of that was my focus, was that. And like I said, we won him his first dual meet, and everything like that. We won him his first city championships, going back to our city rival, him beating me in the OVACs. We get it's a week before regionals, and we have a dual meet against them. We have a dual meet against Weir High, and then also our rival, Willing Central, which was the Catholic school in Willing, West Virginia. They were our rival too. It came up to a 171 weight class, and he was sick. And it's well played. You know, he had the win over me. So going into regionals, he would be seated above me, you know, and, you know, we all kind of, you know, was like, oh, you fucking punk. Okay. All right. Right. I'll see you at regionals. All right. So, you know, we win the duel and everything like that. We go into regionals. And this is back when it was stacked. 71 was tough. Just kids from Oak Glen, kids from down south. You know, I mean, it was a really tough weight class. And I mean, Oak Glen back then, Oak Glen, West Virginia, they are what Dublin Kaufman is now.
Okay,
that's what Oak Glen was. They were turning out kids. They had the youth program going back when, you know, it really wasn't big to have one, and they were just turning kids out all the time. And so we got there. Me and him actually ended up going for third and fourth, and I had it. This is the only time I ever shot. I said, well, takedown. And come third period, I was up, and it was like 20 seconds left on the clock. And I just started circling. I didn't even take a shot. I just started circling. And the ref hit me for stalling. And I remember looking at the ref and I said, I won the match already. I don't care. I know where I'm at. and so we went down. You know, I took third. He took fourth. Went to state that year. Ended up taking fifth.
Okay.
That year, which was really nice to get on the podium finally. And everything, and stuff. And that was my high school career. It was really fun. Like it's a lot of ups and downs, but it you know, created the person I am today doing that. And it was just really kind of one thing my coach, James Lesho, one thing he really liked about me, he hated me not shooting. But the one thing he liked about me, and it's one thing I'm trying to teach my kids, and I've taught my kids in the past, is when you step off the mat, you should be able to tell me everything that went wrong. And I was such a student of the game. After any match, he goes, "What did you win or loss? What did you do wrong? This, and this." He's like, "Cool, good talk," because I was a student of the game, and I remember I was talking with him. He turned into the assistant and was like, "That's the thing I like about Carlin. He can tell me what he did wrong, and I don't have to say anything to him." And that's just, when I heard him say that, it was like, everybody else doesn't do that. Why? You're in the match, you should know. And that's something even now with the kids I coach now. It's like, tell me what you did. Don't get mad and throw stuff and be mad. Tell me what you did wrong and stuff like that. So that's what kind of really. He doesn't know this, but he really shaped me to be the man that I am today. We butt heads a couple of times and stuff like that, but he was like the second father to me, and I love him to death and would do anything for that man.